All right, everybody, welcome back to another video. Today, we are going to be filling out our championship CDL Champs bracket. Starts Thursday, July 18th. This is going to be difficult, as always. Hopefully, you enjoyed all the videos leading up to this, previewing our winners round one. So let's start at the top. FaZe versus Miami. I mean, I don't know if there's a way. I mean, I guess there's always a way. You know, there's a Javi way, but what? It's 3-0 on the year, 9-3 map count. I think this one's pretty cut and dry. I think I'll go probably 3-0. Subliner Surge, probably the toughest match to predict, I guess you could say. New York obviously just won, so you could build off that momentum. But Seattle's looking better and better, right, with 0-4 on their team. I don't know, man. New York Surge. What? It's been all New York? No, they won Major 3 qualifier. 3-1, 3-1 in the last two. This is the Major 4 qualifier. I just think if New York's playing that level of hardpoint, that's going to be the question if they do it. If there's going to be an upset, I feel like it could be this one. Like New York, they have gone out early in winner's bracket, right? They did it here. They lost in round 2 here. Or no, they did round 1 here. That was versus FaZe. Versus FaZe. Versus FaZe. Wow, they lost to FaZe at every major. And then here. Just is Surge good enough for it yet? I don't know. It's so hard for me to go against the team that won the last event. I'll probably go like a 3-1 New York here. Ultra versus Thieves. What, on the year that is... They've only played Major 4 qualifier, huh? It was 3-1 Ultra. It was a close 6-star. Round 11, round 5. It's a really close match. These are Major 4. They only won versus... They just haven't beat a top team, have they? When's the last time they beat a top 4 team? Online versus New York? Outside of that, have they? No. Loss. Loss. No. Loss. So they've beaten one top 4 team once. And it was in game 5. Then they lost to them on LAM. Problem is, what, 7-11 in hardpoint, 4-6 in control. It's like if they win a hardpoint, if they can get this to a map 5, this is what we talked about in the preview. If they get this to a map 5, they are really good in search. I like the number 2 search team. I just don't know if they can. I don't know. I don't know if I see any upsets. I mean, a 3-1 Ultra. The upset will be Optic beating LAG. You mean LAG beating Optic? LAG 3-2 Optic easy. I mean, there was a lot of really good here, right? Obviously, the first 2 days, well, first 3 days were really good. Then there's a lot of really bad here. They got bopped. The bibbidi bopped quickly on Sunday. This is when your one hope is that they can win, because we went over it. They'll probably get like a Karachi hardpoint versus Optic or a Rio. You think barely getting by in a 3-2? Yeah, it could be close. This LAG team has like nothing to lose. LAG win map 1 in both searches. Yeah, I mean, if LAG win map 1, I think Optic's in trouble. Just from like a confidence standpoint, I could see that being a thing for sure. But both searches, I think I'm going to just go home trial buff. I think this has to be different. I'm going to go with all the top 4 to start. All right, losers brackets. Surge Miami. How much have they played? Let's see. Seattle versus Miami. This might be a really good series. What are they on the year? The 2-1? 2-1 on the year? 2 game 5s. So my stats has this. It's 3-3 hardpoint. I have 4-2 in search for Miami. And then I have 3-0 in control for Miami on the year. I really like this Surge team, but maybe this is a tough matchup for them. The problem is, too, is that Miami's a really good 6-star team, which is a lot of the times, well, I guess Surge play everything. They're a good invasion team, and they're a good team. I think that's probably why this is a tough game for Surge, just S&D-wise. Their Karachi solid. Their invasion in 6-star weren't good, but I think on the year they've been solid. Yeah, 6-star 5-2, Karachi 6-5. Invasion hasn't been great, but their high-rise, it's been good enough. Yeah, I might give Miami 3-2. Just do the matchup. But, I mean, listen, I think there's potential Surge upset here in round 1. I think Surge could win this one. This is just kind of up to your gut. Thieves versus LAG. I mean, do Thieves ever beat LAG? Ever? I won in a game 5 online? I don't know what it is about the names. I mean, the big thing in this was this Rio. They blew like a 100-point lead. Major 4. And they lost to Surge. And they lost their invasion in round 5. I wonder what their round 5 invasion record is. It can't be great. I might go LAG. I don't know. They just always beat them for whatever reason. All right, winners round 2. FaZe New York. Do we have a Major 4 rematch right away? So it feels like on the year, FaZe have beaten them until Major 4 final, right? So on the year, this is 5-2 to FaZe, 7-5 hardpoints. What, 8-3 in the search, and 4-4. It's not a final. Oh, man. It's tough doing this because I think day one's going to show us a lot. It's just like, is New York still that good? And like, if you had that answer, like, was it just a hot Sunday? Or are they actually this good now? If you had that answer, I'd probably go like 3-2 New York, but we don't have that answer. I think I'll go FaZe in 5. All right, Ultra Optic. Don't Optic play very well versus them? Isn't this like the part of the matchups that they own? I guess it's pretty close. It's closer than I thought, actually. So what, it's 3-2 to Optic? Yeah, to Optic. What's 5-4 in the hard points, 4-2 in the search, and what, 3-2-3 Toronto in control. Honestly, I think this. Listen, if they both get through winners round 1, I think just that they're lucky, like that this is the winners round 2 matchup because they both looked awful at Major 4. Like, I think if they were playing either a FaZe or New York, like I'd probably go with that team. So it's just, who do I think? Yeah, again, it's a question mark of how much did they fix? And then for Ultra, I don't know, man. Ultra just confuses the heck out of me because they just, all of a sudden, they'll lose 3-0. Like, when they lose, they just get bopped. I don't know. Just lose 3-0. And then we'll just lose 4-0. And then we'll just lose 3-0 on a Sunday. I don't know. I don't know what it is with them. But they have been better overall, yeah. Yeah, they look better. I mean, it's just hard to have a ton of trust right now in Optic if you're building a bracket. I mean, depending on how they look and how practice is going, yeah, you could easily pick Optic, but I'll probably go with Ultra. All right, so that gives you no way, dude. There's no way it happens again, right? There's no way it happens again. Okay, it has been a much different story this year, but what, 5-2 this year to Optic? It's been 9-1 in hard points in this matchup, 5-3 in search to Miami, and then it has been 6-1 control to Optic. I mean, there's no way they get 2-3-5 at the end, right? Doesn't matter what the stats say. I mean, it kind of does because it's not like previous years when like Florida was winning this matchup often. It's only a couple of times. So you would have a day break in between your loss. So if you were Optic, you would lose, and then you would play Miami. Does Miami play Saturday? So no, they would have a day. Okay. I mean, I think if this goes 5, it's danger. 100% danger zone. But I don't know if it will. I'm going to go 3-0, actually. All right, New York LAG. Oh, it's been pretty one-sided on the year. So this is 3-0 on the year to New York. It is 3-1 hard points, 4-0 in search, and 2-1 in control. Yeah, I don't think New York lose here. All right, so New York versus Optic. Wow, this is a close one. Okay. So New York Optic is 3-2 on the year to Optic. It is 8-2 in hard point. It is then 2-7 in search. So New York's 7-2, and then 3-2 in control. So this is literally just on one side is New York's hard point that much better, and on the other is Optic search still awful, which we'll know at this time. But making this bracket in this moment, I don't think we'll know. By Saturday, we'll have a rough idea. Both will have played that day. Is this Saturday into Saturday? So here's the thing. If you're playing well on Saturday, losers round 2, you then go to losers 3. Winner of this as well goes to the losers final. So you play 3 matches in a row, pretty much. Someone could get really hot on this day. Probably go New York at 5 just because their search. Again, I mean, it could easily, just depending on Optic, but this is just recency. Just the form. Ultra FaZe. Ultra actually play pretty well in this matchup, don't they? So it's 4-2 for Toronto. Hardpoint 6-4. Search is 6-3. This is probably the key in this matchup. And then control is actually 5-1 to FaZe. But I think the key is probably this, right? The search, they've like always win searches versus FaZe for whatever reason. This is a qualifier. This is at the tournament, right? This is the Rio round 11. Making brackets is tough. I mean, what? It's like 4-0 Ultra on LAN. They always prep really well. The problem is the loser, like I said, you then drop to play a team who's probably won 2 matches in a row. Well, yeah, a team who's won 2 matches in a row. This match is really difficult, like the losers final. I wish the elimination final was on Sunday before grand finals, but then I guess one team plays before that. So I guess it's whatever. There's not a right way. Yeah, I think I'm going to go FaZe again, or Ultra again. Then you would have this rematch. No way we're going to have an Ultra New York rematch in Champs Final, right? The bracket just plays out really well for Ultra. Depending on the Optic matchup, if that's who they play. They could get caught early. Either getting their lick back in Grand Finals in New York, dude. I don't know, man. What Ultra just lose, dude. They just lose. Does FaZe really not get there? Is this like the same thing, too? Last year, didn't they drop to play New York the year previous? This is the same thing, isn't it? Wow, so actually it was the opposite. Okay, so it was the opposite. So FaZe won, and then they lost here. Okay, so they lost again to Ultra on LAN. Then New York dropped and won, actually. Okay, so it's doable. It's doable. All right, I'm sticking with that logic then. I'm going with it. That means FaZe would win 3-1, and then we get a draw as a scrap final. Scenes. That'd be some scenes. All right, whoever this wheel picks, that's who wins in game 9. That's what I'm going with. Phase in 9. That's my bracket. There we go. Random name picker just picked it for me. There's so many different ways this should go out, but I guess it's just kind of how I'm playing with it. I hope we have a good final, though, honestly. All right, saving them, locking them. Locking predictions. No, I'm done. Submitting. Locking it in. All right, chat, there's my bracket. YouTube, there's my bracket. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make yours on the Pick'ems website and win a perfect bracket. What do you get if you win this? Do you get something? I don't know if you get anything, but go ahead and do that. And then you're perfect. And then like the video. All right, bye. I love you.